American Brahman. The Brahman is an American breed of Zebu-Taurine hybrid beef cattle. It was bred in the United States from 1885 from cattle originating in India, imported at various times from the United Kingdom, from India and from Brazil. These were mainly Gur, Guzera and Nellore stock, with some Indu Brazil, Krishna Valley and Ongole. The Brahman has a high tolerance of heat, sunlight and humidity, and good resistance to parasites. It has been exported to many countries, particularly in the tropics. In Australia it is the most numerous breed of cattle. It has been used in the creation of numerous Taurine-Indocin hybrids, some of which, such as the Brangus and Brahmausen, are established as separate breeds. History. Zebuan cattle were present in the United States from 1849, when a single bull of Indian origin was imported from the United Kingdom to South Carolina. In 1885 a pair of gray bulls was brought directly from India to Texas. One was large, weighing over 800 kilograms, the other weighed little more than half that. Crossbreeding of these with local taurine cows was the first step in the creation of the Brahman breed. Other small groups of Indian cattle were imported up to about 1906, mostly to Texas. Some of them were imported to be displayed as circus animals, and were later sold to ranchers. In 1924 and 1925 larger numbers of Brazilian cattle were brought to the United States through Mexico. These were mainly Zebu-Taurine hybrid Guzera, but also included some Gur and Nellore. There were 210 bulls and 18 cows in total. A breed association, the American Brahman Breeders Association, was formed in 1924, and a herd book was started. The name, Brahman, was chosen by J.W. Sartwell, secretary of the association. In 1939 the herd book was closed, thereafter recording only the offspring of registered parents. The registration in 1946 of 18 imported Brazilian bulls, mainly Indu Brazil and Gur, was permitted, as were some later additions of imported stock. The association registered all American Indocin cattle in the same herd book until 1991, when herd books for Gur, Guzeret, Indu Brazil, Nellore and Tabapua were separated from that for the American Red and Gray Brahman. Exports of cattle of this breed to Australia began in 1933 and continued until 1954, and amounted to 49 head in all. By 1973 their offspring numbered more than 225,000. Some further imports, totaling about 700 head, took place after 1981. By 1987 there were over 1 million in Queensland alone, and by the end of the century there were more of them in Australia than of any other breed, particularly in the tropical north of the country. Characteristics. The Brahman has good tolerance of heat and is widespread in tropical regions. It is resistant to insects thanks to its thick skin. Brahman cattle live longer than many other breeds, often producing calves at ages 15 and older. Use. The Brahman is reared for the meat industry, particularly in areas where good resistance to hot or tropical conditions is needed. As with other Zebuan cattle, the meat is of lower quality than that of specialized European beef cattle breeds. For this reason it is commonly crossbred with cattle of those breeds, either by raising hybrid calves born to purebred parents, or by creating a composite or hybrid breed, of which there are many. Some of them, such as the Brahmausen, Brangus and Simbra, have acquired breed status in their own right, but many others have not. These include the Brahorn, the Bravon and South Bravon, the Bras Swiss, the Sabre and the Brafford. In Oman and Fujairah, Brahman bulls are used in the traditional sport of bull butting. They may be fed milk and honey to prepare them for the contest. The benefits of Brahman cattle. 5 reasons why you should own this breed. Superior crossbreeding. Hybrid vigor is a genetics term that is achieved by crossing 2 different strains, breeds or species. The use of Brahman bulls with European or English-bred cows is one of the most popular crossbreeding practices in the U.S., with the resulting Brahman F1 calf in high demand by cattlemen. The Brahman F1 cross is superior to other crosses in weight per day of age and carcass efficiency. They also have characteristics of the Brahman parent, which include heat tolerance, disease and parasite resistance, and increased longevity. Maternal benefits. F1 Brahman females have increased milk production, higher fertility, and wean faster-growing calves with fewer inputs. These females also have a longer productive life and raise more calves over their lifetime than other breeds. Environmental strengths. Brahman cattle can have darker skin pigmentation and a thick, glossy hair coat, which helps filter the rays of the sun and withstand extreme temperatures. Brahman cattle also have the ability to utilize lower quality feed and to resist insects and external parasites while withstanding vast climatic differences. Another special feature of the Brahman bred is their ability to sweat freely, which contributes to their great heat tolerance. Gain efficiency and carcass quality. Brahman hybrid calves and Brahman F1 cows are known for their fast gains. Calves produce more weight per day of age than most other breed contemporaries. The carcasses are also known for their high cutability, which results in high-yielding carcass with limited fat. Milk production. Many dairy producers in the southern U.S. and South and Central America utilize the American Brahman in crossbreeding with dairy breeds. Using American Brahman adds additional butterfat content and protein, as well as increased production and net income. Pros and cons of Brahman cattle. Published by First Time Farming. Originating from India, Brahman cattle have become one of the best-loved breeds in the U.S. Over the years, the breed's beef characteristics and temperament have been improved through careful breeding. These cattle are known for their excellent beef production, though they are also used to create unique crossbreeds. There is a lot to consider before you add Brahman cattle to your farm or homestead. Like all breeds, they come with a list of pros and cons you'll need to factor in. To ensure you make the most knowledgeable choice, check out the pros and cons of Brahman cattle below. What are the pros of Brahman cattle? Brahman cattle regularly rank as the #1 breed in terms of heat tolerance, efficiency, and hybrid vigor. Females produce more milk, have a higher fertility rate, and wean their calves faster than many other breeds out there. Let's take a look at some of their main advantages in a little more detail. Highly adaptive. Brahman cattle are one of the most adaptive breeds. They can flourish in a range of climates and environments. They produce healthier meat. The meat produced by Brahman cattle contains less fat than a lot of other breeds. This makes them a popular choice for farmers due to a shift in consumer focus to healthier meats. Insect, disease, and heat tolerance. The last thing you want when purchasing cattle is to go on to spend a fortune treating all kinds of problems and diseases. The Brahman breed is well known for being highly resistant to disease and insects. They are also heat tolerant, which means you won't need to pay out as much in veterinary bills if you choose this hardy breed. Great for crossbreeding. You will often find that Brahman cattle are used for crossbreeding. They have a high amount of vigor, making them suitable for crossbreeding with a wide range of cattle. You could create your own unique variety if you want to, setting you apart from other local breeders. Excellent foragers. Brahman cattle are excellent foragers. They aren't fussy eaters, which makes them one of the easier breeds to raise. Great mothering ability. When it comes to breeding, Brahmans make excellent mothers. They produce plenty of milk and have a natural protective instinct for their young. You also won't experience many issues with birthing. These are the main advantages, so what about the disadvantages of the breed? What are the cons of Brahman cattle? Brahman cattle have far more positives than they do downsides. However, you still need to be aware of the disadvantages before deciding whether to add them to your farm. The main cons of the breed include: they can become aggressive and protective of their young. The fact that Brahman cattle are excellent mothers is one of the main reasons farmers choose to raise them. However, they can become aggressive and protective over their young. When calving, care will need to be taken, as usually docile cows can turn aggressive quite quickly. Prone to some genetic defects, Brahman cattle are generally quite healthy animals. However, they are still prone to a few genetic defects. One of them is known as weak calf syndrome. This causes the calf to be too weak to stand after they are born. They will typically die within a few days if they have this defect. They are allergic to chemicals. Did you know Brahman cattle are allergic to chemicals? If you plan on using insecticides, for example, you might need to reconsider. The majority of insecticides are unsafe for use around Brahman cattle. Baggy skin. Brahman cows are quite baggy skin, known to catch or get trodden on. When this occurs, it can lead to some pretty nasty injuries. This isn't just unpleasant for the cow, but it can also be costly to treat too. Before committing to the Brahman breed, you need to factor in both the pros and the cons. Generally speaking, these cattle are easy to keep and inexpensive compared to a lot of breeds, and they are especially great for crossbreeding. Brahman cattle in a temperate environment. Live weight gains and carcass characteristics. Published by Cambridge University Press and Assessment. Summary. A study was made of the live weight gains of 4 3/4 bred Brahman and 4 purebred Hereford steers over a 12-month period. At 950 lb live weight each animal was slaughtered, after which the carcass characteristics of the two breed types were compared. The Herefords showed the highest live weight gains over the whole year, but during autumn, when nutritional levels were poor, the Brahmans had an advantage in average daily gain. Although both breed types varied greatly in body conformation, there was little appreciable difference in weight distribution of joints on the carcass. A higher dressing percentage was observed in the Brahmans, this being attributed to their smaller alimentary tracts. The Brahmans had a greater carcass muscle and smaller carcass fat content than the Herefords. The necessity for fat trimming of the Hereford carcasses reduced their calculated retail value index to a level below that of the Brahmans in a market which discriminated against excess fat. Thus it was concluded that even in a temperate climate, Brahman cattle can have a place in improving productive efficiency. Apart from the heterosis developed in crossbreeding, benefits should flow from the Brahmans' superiority on poor pastures and the improved production of lean meat on their carcasses. With numerous breeds to choose from, it can be a seemingly overwhelming process to navigate. Instead of struggling through the journey alone, why not let us make a helpful suggestion? We love Texas land, and therefore, one of our favorite breed of cattle is the Brahman. Why should you raise Brahman cattle on your ranch? Here's some great information that might convince you. They're the best of the best. The American Brahman explains that the Brahman is the first beef cattle breed to develop in the country and consistently ranks in at number 1 in terms of efficiency, hybrid vigor, and heat tolerance. As they offer great performance and growth, they play a significant role in crossbreeding programs internationally. Female Brahmans have a higher milk production rate, wean their calves faster, and have higher fertility rate than other breeds. Meanwhile, the steers usually stay healthier long and produce carcasses that are free of excessive fat content, which are ideal for healthier consumers and buyers. Many call this breed as the crossbreeding's common denominator, as breeders around the world idolize the American Brahman genetics. They're practically described as being super cattle. They're extremely adaptive. Brahmans are very adaptive to various environmental and weather situations. They are ideal for many areas of the state and in the rest of the country, unlike other cattle. Amazingly, they are able to travel longer distances for water and feed, resist insects and external parasites, and can reproduce regularly, even in a stressful setting. One of the best factors is that Brahman are not affected by extremely high temperatures, making them a great choice for hot summers on Texas ranches. This heat resistance is because of their thick, short, glossy hair coat that reflects the sun's rays. During wintertime, they also grow a long, coarse protective hair covering to remain warm, even on some of the coldest days of the season. As you might have noticed, they have a lot of loose skin, which is a telling characteristic of this unique breed. Instead of just being a recognizable feature, this skin increases their body's surface area, which helps them cool down faster. They also can sweat freely, unlike other breeds, which significantly contributes to their ability to withstand high temperatures. They're protective of their young. While many describe these cattle as more intuitive and sensitive than other breeds, they do have a protective, aggressive side. Like a mama bear protecting her cubs, you do not want to get between a mother Brahman and her calf. While you have to be careful when approaching new mothers, this overly protective nature is actually beneficial for your ranch. Just like one of your mama cows will chase you away from their young, they will do the same with coyotes, buzzards, bears, and any other predator trying to hurt their babies. Don't you want protective mama cows who will help you take care of your calves? Don't spend another day looking at breeds that aren't nearly as beneficial as the Brahman.